Hey everyone, John here from the Brewers podcast, and I'm back with another beer. Today we're drinking a beer out of Maine Beer Company, out of Maine. And I've heard a lot about this beer. This is called Lunch. This is their interpretation of a West Coast IPA, and they're an East Coast brewery. Yeah, this was bottled on November 5th, and today is I don't have the date on my watch right now, the 18th, or the 17th, I think. So this is pretty damn fresh. This is a little over 10 days old. So let's open this up and check it out. I gotta say, it's nice to go back to like an actual IPA on these videos because, you know, normally it's a lot of hazy stuff. It's what's popular. That's what breweries are sending us. And I saw this on the shelf in Riverside, California, and I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, I'm happy to be going back to a little more traditional IPA styles on this channel. So this actually looks like a hazy. This has a fairly decent amount of haze to it. Like it's a golden yellow with it's got some murk on there, similar to the last beer review I did for the Oscar Blues 1E hazy IPA. This has a nice frothy head on there that's kind of creamy looking, medium to small bubbles on there. Looks really good. This beer looks fantastic. So let's see what it smells like. That's interesting. Okay, I get some spice character on here, like some hoppy, peppery spice notes, if that makes any sense. It's not like citrusy or danky, but kind of like a grassy, spicy thing on the aroma, which I think is pretty unique. I've never experienced that before. Got a little bit of a sweetness on the nose too. Like I think the malt character is coming out a little bit on this. Not in the same way you would get on a hazy where you get kind of like a cake batter kind of aroma, but you actually smell sweetness, like it smells like it's sweet. I don't know, like if you smell, I don't know, like a cookie or something. What's something that's really, I can't think of it, like a donut. Smell a donut. I mean, but donuts smell like donuts. It doesn't smell like a donut. It smells sweet. I don't know how else to say it. It might smell a bowl of sugar. Does a bowl of sugar smell sweet? I don't know. This smells sweet. It's just how I interpret it. Yeah, going in again though, yeah, the sweetness is taken on a little bit of a kind of sweet bread character, like Hawaiian bread kind of character. I would say the nose is definitely not West Coast at all. You do get hop aromas on there, and they're kind of hard to define, but for the most part, this is just a very well balanced nose. There's no off aromas to speak of, like it doesn't smell oxidized at all. You don't get any kind of like paper aromas on it. Yeah, it's just really clean and balanced on the nose. So let's see what it tastes like. Again, the flavor follows the nose. Really good. It's got that's got great body. Nice dry finish. Nice balance between the malt characteristics and the hops. Again, you do get, they call this an East Coast interpretation of a West Coast IPA, and that's exactly what it is. Like it's not super, super dry, but it's dry enough to lift everything off your palate and clean everything away once you're finished drinking it. But it does leave behind this nice malt flavor. Like that's, again, I said the nose smelled like kind of like Hawaiian sweetbread. And when I say that, it's like those little like, they're not like Hawaiian rolls. I guess I think we have had them at Thanksgiving on occasions, but like they smell sweet and like honey kind of. And that's kind of what you get on this. And the flavor of the malts follows the nose. So overall, it's just balanced. I'm gonna add a little more here because I feel like I need to have a little more. Going in for another smell. Yeah, it's weird. It's like a spicy grass character. That's the best way to put it. Not like cinnamon spice, not like, I guess maybe a little bit of an herbal spice thing happening, but no citrus, no like, well, maybe it's like a pine. I could see pine being in there too. Yeah, pine, grass, and spicy. That's the best way to describe this nose, at least from my perception. It's a great beer though. Yeah, this is totally, this is really good. What's the ABV on this? 7%. This is perfect. This is a fantastic beer. I can totally see them calling it an East Coast interpretation of a West Coast IPA. As far as bitterness goes, like typically with a West Coast IPA, you're gonna it's going to be not like a bitter bomb, but you're going to have a fair amount of bitterness on your palate. And this does have a fair amount of bitterness, but it's not West Coast bitterness. It's more balanced with the overall sweetness of the beer and the body and everything else. So it's not stripping your tongue or anything. It's just a very drinkable IPA, and it's very well made. This is really, really good. Yeah, it's interesting going from the last beer I did, the Oscar Blues 1E, to this, because my complaints with that beer was that it didn't have enough body. Like, the mouthfeel was fine, and the dryness was fine, and the sweetness was fine, but it was like everything was just lowered. Like, it was lacking, I guess is the best thing to say. And this, you know, this is 7%. This is a proper IPA, and it shows like that extra body. Like, IPAs need to be between 6 and 8, you know, to I think to have all the proper characteristics on the palate for an IPA. But this is a really good beer. I'm glad I picked this up. I'm gonna drink the rest of this bottle, and yeah, thanks for watching another video.